At Bow News Network, we are serious about the weather. Are you ready? Your Bow to the Weather report starts now.
Welcome back to Bow News Network. We are trying to track Tropical Cyclone 3 as it makes its impact in the Gulf Coast region along the states of Mississippi, Louisiana, as well as Alabama. We have been monitoring the Doppler radar as the system makes its way into the region, and we can clearly see that it's actually starting to, parts of the system are actually starting to impact the region of New Orleans area, Gulfport, Mobile, Alabama. This radar is actually coming in from the Grand Isle, Louisiana region as we anticipated, and we can see that there are local spotter reports of tropical storm activity already brewing in the region. As you can see, this first initial set of cells and thunderstorms are going to have a tremendous impact on the region of Mississippi, as well as Louisiana, as well as Mobile, Alabama. We anticipate that it will most likely impact the region between Biloxi, Mississippi, as well as and Mobile, Alabama. As we look further at the actual system, we can see it well defined and picking up speed. It's actually moving a little bit faster than it did earlier. Earlier in the morning, it was actually moving at about 9 miles per hour. Now it's going at about 13 to 14 miles per hour. We anticipate that it's going to drench the Gulf Coast states, most notably Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, with significant precipitation in the next matter of hours. Based on our projection, we can see that it will probably make landfall, as we said, between Biloxi and Mobile. We anticipate it will drench the region between with 10 to 12 inches of rain just along the Gulf Coast region, and it will impact other cities in the south. Here's just a timeline, and these are just rainfall projections. They're not set in stone because, of course, we don't know the actual path of the storm at this time. But based on our estimation, with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour and gusts up to 35 miles per hour, moving northeast at about 14 miles per hour, we anticipate that Biloxi, Mississippi will start experiencing pretty heavy rainfall to the tune of about 1 inch to an inch and a half consistently later on tonight, throughout the morning. Then the system will move towards Montgomery, Alabama, and these are readings in red in an inch per an hour. So this is a significant amount of rainfall in a very, very short period of time, and it will be cumulative. So keep in mind also that this area is very, very saturated from previous thunderstorm activity, and flooding is going to be a major issue. In fact, they have a coastal flood warning for the region starting at about 1 p.m. Friday CDT time through Saturday. So we are anticipating significant weather from this system. Residents should be warned not to take tropical cyclone, even though it's not elevated as of yet to tropical storm status, if it will be, or if and of course it's not hurricane strength, but it will bring a significant amount of rain to the low-laying areas of New Orleans, as well as inlet areas of Mississippi, as well as along the coast of Mobile, Alabama. These are all low elevation. And also keep in mind, we also took a look in our previous forecasts at low tide and high tides for the region for Grand Isle, Louisiana. And we were concerned about the high tide, low tide, simply because of the low lying elevation of this terrain, most notably New Orleans, being that it's so flood prone, as it was impacted by some really heavy storms and hurricanes for previous seasons, most notably the 2020 hurricane season. So we are very, very concerned about the level of coastal flooding, and there is a warning at this time for significant amount of flooding and precipitation. Some based on some meteorologists believe that it's easily to say that this area will receive anywhere from 10 to 12 inches of rain in a very, very short period of time as the system moves northeast. So residents should be preparing at this time, if not yet, to try and prepare for and buckle down for this tropical storm making its way into the region. As far as the the Storm Prediction Center for the Weather Service, we can clearly see that there's not only an event for Tropical Cyclone 3 making impact in the southeast states, but there is severe weather in the region of Ohio, Indiana, and also Illinois. We see a slight threat for the region of Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Toledo, Ohio, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Peoria, Illinois, and a more enhanced and more severe threat for severe thunderstorms with possibility of large hail as well as strong gusting winds for Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Akron, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio. And we also see a threat for marginal weather activity in the region of Detroit, Michigan, and also Denver, Kansas City, New Orleans, of course, with Tropical Cyclone 3 moving towards the coast, and Omaha, Nebraska. So there's quite a bit of activity. So if you thought that that was not enough activity for the continental United States, we do have a recently upgraded tropical storm Delores that is off the coast of Mexico. We anticipate that it's going to be making more of a northerly track, and that will put it in the region of going through the central states of Mexico, possibly even bringing some rainfall to the region of El Paso, Texas, which is right on the border of New Mexico, southern New Mexico, and El Paso. So we will have to watch this storm also that's making its way, whether it will have an impact on the weather of the continental United States. But at this time, it has been upgraded to a tropical storm, and there is a slight likelihood that Tropical Cyclone 3 may also be upgraded to a tropical storm status if it does intensify before actually making landfall, and that will be Tropical Storm Claudette. So we are monitoring very, very active systems and that are impacting continental United States at this time. If just take one more look at what's actually happening with the severe weather, we can actually see the system actually making its way on board into the coastline, impacting the region of New Orleans, as well as the outer inlet islands, and also the Gulf Shores area. It will bring possibly more rainfall to the region of Pensacola, Florida, as far east as Pensacola, Florida. But we do see it making its way northward, so residents should prepare for this storm as it makes its way into the region. So we will continue to monitor all these 3 or 4 hotspot severe weather occurrences that are occurring in continental United States, and we will update you. Make sure that you smash the like button if you appreciate in-depth weather content. We try to bring the latest weather content to you. Keep in mind also, we are monitoring very, very severe temperatures across the continental United States also, and it's not letting up. We are really concerned about reservoir levels for Lake Mead as well as Lake Powell that provide fresh water for residents in the area of Arizona and New Mexico, California, Nevada. We see some of these temperatures just escalating even higher and higher. We see Phoenix 113, Yuma, Arizona 115, Las Vegas, Nevada 100. We also see regions of central New Mexico in the mid 90s, also central Texas mid 90s, and some elevations in the region of California 118, 113, 112, and even in the region along the coastline, it's in the hundreds in the region of San Jose and Northern California. So we are seeing a severe drought, almost, well, an environmental crisis in this region, southwest region of the United States. And we do see clearly as the system moves into the southeast area, it's going to be really pulling in a lot of low level moisture from the Gulf and intensifying most likely as it makes its way in and really drenching that region with possibly a foot of rainfall over the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll have to monitor the system. If you take a closer look at the region of Kansas and Nebraska, we saw quite a few local spotter reports of excessive heat that are reported from local spotter reports in the region of Kansas and Nebraska, and we can clearly see that that heat has actually extended into the Nebraska area, 104 and 102 for in various cities in Kansas, and also mid 90s for Missouri, and mid 90s for along the border of Louisiana and eastern Texas. So we are in a severe heat wave coupled with potentially two tropical storm systems moving into the continental United States, and of course severe weather in the region of Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, as well as Iowa. So we're going to continue to monitor all of these different weather occurrences that are impacting the continental United States at this time. Of course, stay tuned to Bow News Network and our Bow to the Weather reports for continuing coverage of the impact of Tropical Cyclone 3 as it impacts the continental United States. We're also going to be monitoring Tropical Storm Delores, its path as it impacts Mexico, and whether it's actually going to bring possibly rainfall to southwestern section of Texas and southeastern New Mexico, as it's in a direct line with impacting the region of Chihuahua, Mexico, along on its way to El Paso, Texas, possibly just as a depression, but bringing a lot of rainfall to that region. So we do want to thank you for tuning in to Bow News Network and our Bow to the Weather reports. Stay tuned. Make sure you smash that like button and hit that notification bell if you want instant notifications of the weather with detailed analysis as far as path as well as possibly rainfall projections. Of course, based on the rainfall projections that we have here, they're not set in stone because the path of the storm is constantly changing, but these are just estimates as of 10:51 a.m. Mountain Time, June 18th, 2021. So we thank all of our subscribers out there, and we appreciate all of you. Please share this video with friends and family, especially those who may be impacted by the storm as it makes its way landfall into the continental United States. And as always, please remember to bow to the weather, and we thank you for tuning in to Bow News Network.